Hey guys, good morning. This is Shane at Music and Arts in Sanford, and I've got 5 tips for how to make sure that your student has a successful first year in the band or orchestra program in school. So tip number 1, when you're selecting your instrument for your student, make sure you get a quality instrument, okay? Stay away from knockoff brand instruments or anything that looks like an amazing deal online. You want to make sure that you can talk to your band director first and find out what instrument brand that they recommend, and they might even have certain models. If you go with something inexpensive online just because it looks like a good deal, chances are you're going to get an instrument that doesn't work properly, number 1. It doesn't stay in tune, it doesn't sound good, and then also it's probably going to break on you pretty easily. Once it breaks, you most of the time can't get it repaired because either the replacement parts are hard to get, or it's just the cost of repairing the instrument would outweigh the purchase price of a new one. So that's going to be a number 1 tip for you, is get a quality instrument. At Music and Arts, we have over 215 retail locations, so you can certainly reach out to any one of those locations, or if you don't live near any of our locations, we can ship an instrument to you. So you can go online to musicarts.com and you can select rental, and you can rent your instrument right there from the comfort of your own home, and we'll ship it to your house and get it all set for you. With that being said, if you do choose to rent an instrument, or you do choose to purchase one, make sure you get some sort of damage coverage on your instrument. It's not like an insurance like you would get on a TV or a stereo or something like that. Your student will drop the instrument. Another kid will knock it off of a chair or a stand, or just accidents happen. They leave it on the top of a car, things like that. Your instrument needs to have some sort of damage coverage. That way you don't end up paying a lot more to repair an instrument when you could have had a protection plan on top of it. Usually the protection plans are pretty inexpensive, so make sure you take a look at that and opt in for your protection plan. With that being said, when the instrument gets damaged, you simply, if you're renting from Music and Arts, you can simply bring it back to the store. We'll either fix it or we'll swap it out for another one and get you taken care of. Our job is to make sure that we can get you a replacement instrument or a working instrument as quick as possible. That way your student doesn't miss out. So that being said, tip number 1, get a quality instrument and then get a damage coverage on top of it. We do sell instruments as well, but most of the time we recommend renting for your first year because that gives you flexibility. You don't know if your student's going to stick with it. They might change their mind. Maybe they want to go from like a clarinet to an alto sax, and with renting we give you those flexible options. If you do decide that you do want to purchase it, we do give you discounts on top of that. So you can do either one. You can either purchase a quality instrument or you can rent. We recommend renting first, just for your peace of mind. That way you're not fitting out a whole bill and paying for something that you don't know if your student's going to stick with. Number 2 is to make sure you get the basic supplies needed. So I've got a few examples here. So one of the first and foremost things that your student will need is going to be a cleaning kit for your instrument. So this is a flute cleaning kit. It comes with all of the necessary accessories. It's got polish cloths in there. It's got all kinds of stuff to clean the inside of the instrument. If you're playing a wind instrument, importantly, your student will be blowing into this instrument. Everything that they eat or drink is going to go into the instrument. It's going to grow mold, and it's going to grow bacteria, and so you want to make sure that stuff stays clean. That way it doesn't smell bad, or it doesn't affect their performance, because sometimes the pads can get sticky from sugars and everything like that. So you want to make sure you get a cleaning instrument and your student is cleaning it once a week. Second thing you want to get is a music stand. Your student is going to have music that they need to practice on at home, and you want to make sure you have a music stand. That way they can sit with proper posture and play their music correctly. Posture is going to play a lot to do. It's going to have a lot to do with how they are breathing and how they're playing their instrument. So if they're not breathing properly, if their throat's not opened up to where they can push the air properly, they're gonna suffer a little bit on how they play. The third thing you want to get is the foundation of all music, a tuner and metronome. So your student needs to be playing in tune, and they need to be playing on time. So you want to make sure you get a tuner metronome. A lot of you say, well, I can just download those on my phone. Sure, you probably can, but most of the time your band director or orchestra director is not going to want your student to be having their phone out during class. So it's not recommended to have those in school. So if you have a tuner, that's going to be perfectly fine. It sits right on top of your music stand at school. That'll do the job. Another thing we're going to recommend is a name tag. All of the student level instruments, or most of them I should say, most of the student level instruments are going to look exactly the same in the case. So you want to have a name tag on your instrument. That way you can make sure your student can separate their instrument from another student's when they're packing up for school. It's very, very common when there's no name tag on it that the instruments are swapped, and then you have account problems later on if you have to return it. So you want to make sure you get all of the basic necessary accessories for your student to have a great first year. The third thing I'm going to recommend is do not touch your instrument until your band director has given you instructions on how to do it. So you're going to get your instrument early, okay? You're going to be holding on to it, for a week or 2 weeks or however long, or maybe even you're getting it the weekend before you're supposed to have it in band class. Make sure your student does not touch the instrument. Some things that can go wrong is they can drop it or they can break something off of it, and then next thing you know, you're running back to the music store trying to get another one because it's not going to work properly on your first day of school. So don't touch the instrument until your band director or orchestra director gives you the permission to do so and tells you how to use it properly. Either way, if something does happen and you're renting from Music and Arts and you have the damage coverage, bring it back. We'll make sure we get you taken care of. Tip number 4, go ahead and talk about practice scheduling now. Go ahead and start thinking about the times that you can go ahead and set aside 15 to 30 minutes a day of practice plus whatever homework your music director is going to give you. So make sure you have that conversation with your student. Go ahead and set aside the time for practicing. That way everybody's on the same page. You can get the practice in, your student can start to learn and develop with their instrument. It's going to be something that has to be done, so make sure you set aside time for practicing. Number 5, I'm going to recommend this. So most of the time your band directors, they're going to be dealing with 30 to 40 students, and they have a class period of about maybe 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the school. You have one band director working with 30 to 45 kids, and they are all playing, different instruments. So your student is not going to get the necessary one-on-one attention that they're going to need to properly develop. Yes, they will learn in school. Yes, they will learn in their band class. However, it's going to be very helpful for your student and helpful for the band director if your student gets private lessons. So private lessons are going to kind of take the learning up a notch, and they're going to help your student develop a lot faster. The band programs that are extremely successful, their students do take private lessons. That way that they're getting all of the one-on-one attention that they need, that they necessarily can't get in the band programs. And that's not the fault of the band director. It's just basic math. You don't have that much time to work with every student. So your band directors are doing a great job out there right now. They're working incredibly hard. If you guys know of any band directors, definitely give them a pat on the back and thank them for doing a wonderful service, because the music education in schools is something we greatly need, and they're doing a great job. So definitely give them a pat on the back and then help them out. Get your students some private lessons. We do lessons here at Music and Arts, of course. Again, at our 215 locations, there's plenty of places to go. If you don't know of a Music and Arts location near you, give me a call at 407-321-4750, and I'll help you find one. And on top of that, if you are renting from us this year, or even in the past, up until August 31st, we are offering a $50 discount towards your first month of lessons. I can't think of a better way for you to help your student with their instrument than to get them private lessons, get them started on the very basics before they even get to class. That way when they get to class, they know what they're doing, they're ready to go, and they're not fumbling with their instrument trying to put it together. And again, it helps the band director out, it helps your program out. As you grow with your music program, you'll learn that you guys become a family. You're going to do lots of events together, you're going to have a lot of fun times together, and there's going to be a lot of hard work. So the more you can help your student with private lessons and help their development will make sure that they have a better chance at developing as a player, and they'll have a great successful year in music. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. It's Shane at Music and Arts in Sanford, 407-321-4750, and have a great day. Take care.